What's up, guys? I have something I want to show you that I've been working on today, having to do with how I take video. Most of the time when I do shots, when I'm moving around, or if it's stationary, I have it on the tripod. When I'm moving around, I use my monopod, my selfie stick. It'll extend about 7 feet, and it works pretty well, so I can do a sweeping shot. But I think a lot of times you'll see that the camera torques, because I'll end up doing this when I'm reaching for something or when I'm moving around, and it makes it harder to follow things. So I want to be able to do better shots, cool shots, right? So how do we do that? So they sell gimbal sticks and harnesses for GoPros and for cameras, and if you get a really kick-ass 3-axis gimbal, you're spending a lot of money. They're definitely worth it, but that's not how I like to do things. So what am I doing about that? So I found a 2-axis gimbal. It's actually talked about on Reddit, where you can strap in your GoPro without a hard case, and it'll do a 2-axis gimbal. It'll stay steady. It takes 12-volt power, and it does have pins for control for tilt and yaw, but I don't know, I might get into that later, but I need to make something where this at least starts to work. So it needs 12 volts from the DJI Phantom quadricopter series. It just kind of mounts on the bottom, and then you can do pan and tilt while your quadricopter's flying around, and it stays very steady. I've seen people take video with this gimbal on their quadricopter. I like this one because it does have input controls. It just takes 12 volts. It takes 12 volt accessory from the quadricopter, so I wanted to be able to do the same thing as is, because it takes accessory from the quadricopter. There's no power off. This energizes and will stay balanced till it runs out of battery. So the way I'm dealing with that is actually got a couple replacement batteries that are for the quadricopter. So they have their main power lead, and because these are lithium polymer cells, it has battery monitoring leads on the cell, because you can get feedback on your quadricopter control. How are your cells doing? How much voltage is still coming out? The battery pack is rated as 11.1 volts, 2200 milliamp hours, and 24.42 watt hours. Right on the battery, it says, don't let it get too hot. If it expands, catches on fire, stop using it, that kind of stuff. But it also tells you, don't let any of the cells, this is a 3-cell battery pack, don't let any of the cells drop below 2.5 volts. Don't charge it with more than 4.2 volts per cell, pushing back into the battery lead. And always use lithium polymer battery management to or a charger to balance and charge the pack. I got the battery charger that's for these, so I know I'm gonna continue to have balanced packs, but still, if I run that battery all the way down, it's going to be no good. It's not going to be able to take a charge. I don't want to take it apart and balance the cells if one gets very low. So I want to let the battery manager do it and watch the nominal voltage of the cells in the overall pack. So I found there's actually, for hobbyists, there's a very slick thing to do that. If you have accessories on your quadricopter or any modifications, or you just want to cell test your unit, there is this guy which will do an audible alarm when you drop below a voltage, and self-configures for 1 to 8 cell packs. Pretty slick little thing. So if I plug this in, I'll show you what it does. It'll tell me where the battery pack's at right now. So that's the beep it'll make when it gets angry. So this is what it's doing here. The battery pack each of the cells has their own monitoring lead. And so what do we see? We see each of the 3 cells is at about their average, you know, this is a mostly charged pack right now. And overall, it's over 11.1 nominal. So this is mostly charged and the cells are pretty balanced. You can see how close each of them is. So there's a configuration button on this thing that allows you to set at what level the audible alarm goes off. This actually, you can set it from 2.7 to 3.5 volts. If any of the cells drop below that, the audible alarm will go off. So that 2.7 is higher than the minimum rating of per cell that is recommended by the manufacturer. That's good because I want a responsive gimbal. So this is for the whole quadricopter. So I'm optimistic I'm going to get a lot of life out of one pack charge on the gimbal. So let's see if it does that. Let's see how does this behave. And once we know how the gimbal behaves, I'm going to try to, or I'm going to decide. I got this, you know, pro camera mount thing, and it comes with a GoPro mount and a couple other things. So you can put your camera on there and you can do your shots. But now this is pretty well balanced for being a polymer frame, but it's still prone. You know, if I let it lean forward, I'm gonna lose quality of the shot, the balance of the shot. So I want to see what the gimbal can do for me. And also, I did get a flashlight. I love my Fenix flashlights. I just want to see what I can do as far as put a light on there. So if I am doing a shot and it's staying level, why don't I put a light on there? Because I don't want to put extra weight on the gimbal, so that's why it only has the skeleton, or not even the skeleton, on the GoPro to strap in. But I want to find somewhere I can put the light, so I can have light where I'm looking, like if I'm getting under the car or anything like that. So let's strap up this gimbal here and see how it behaves. So in the directions and people online, they say you strap it in and try to, it should be close to level when it's not energized. And then energize it, holding it level, and it'll adjust, and then it should stay that way. Some people complained that it wouldn't stay steady, but I think that they weren't supplying enough energy to the unit. So this, it straps in, you put the lens through this here, and then we tighten the strap down, and then it'll be level, and then it'll be tight on this platform, then that's what it'll keep level. Okay, the Velcro does go the whole way around. I was wondering if it did, so that would stay out of the way if there was a lot of yaw, something like that. So that's actually, that's pretty balanced. Why don't we, just want to see, make sure you actually get a look at this. So this is where it's resting by itself. Let's see if that's close enough in balance that the motors will keep it level. So I got this guy here, and so why don't we provide what the pack's nominal is, 11.1, and see what it does. If I'm going to show you guys, I want to make sure that these leads are in a good place. Okay. Okay. We're still pretty level. So if we give it that 11.1 volts, what do we get? Okay, I can feel the motors vibrating, so it's keeping it. Oh, yeah, it is. So you can see these two axes, it's staying pretty level. See, I went to the limit of the range and started vibrating against there, but still pretty level. So if I turn this on, I think there's something to be said for the yaw here. Let me okay. So maybe the best way to show you guys, I'm going to start this, and then we'll turn to you guys, we'll turn back to me, maybe get a little crooked here with the platform. You see it's staying pretty level. It's pretty nice. And I think what I'm going to do for you guys is I'll put this shot running at the same time, just a little thing in there so you can see what it's doing. Okay. All right, so the gimbal works. Now that was powering it with 11.1 volts from my DC power supply. What I want to do before I really try building this out, wiring and stuff like that, is see if the battery pack, if it does energize and behave just as well with the battery pack. As is, I thought I did, but I don't have any connectors for the battery pack, the main power. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up battery monitoring. Okay, detected 3-cell. We're still 11.4 overall in the pack. Now luckily the charger comes with power leads that unplug. Banana connectors that unplug from there, which is kind of nice if I do want to if I want to try to push power in for a short period of time with something like my DC power supply, I can. But in this case, what I want is I want to give power to the gimbal with the battery. So I'm just going to rig these alligator clips up to provide that power. Let's see how it behaves. Okay. It went from red to green, initialized in the same way. So now we're just running off the battery pack. Now actually it's still measuring the, so I'm optimistic here that it is gonna last a long time, because it's still measuring the same now that it's under load by the gimbal. So we'll just do a shot with this. Okay, so how you doing there? Okay. That stays pretty okay, yeah. Okay, so that the battery definitely works. I think I should put together the harness here to see how long that will last. So, and it'll be kind of hard to test. Like if I solder some connectors here. So that's all I'm going to do for now. I need to get some parts, and I want to figure out how I want to mount this on here, and then I'll show you guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.